dragon training. Today, you will learn to fight dragons.
Pain. Love it.
Let's get started.
You should come by sometime to work out. You look like you work out.
Oh!
I guess it's just you and me, huh?
No, just you.
Focus, Hiccup.
Can I transfer to the class with the cool Vikings?
Whoa. Has anyone ever tried to train a dragon?
No one's ever lived to tell the tale.
It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Let's see if this works. We're gonna take this nice and slow. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Whoa!
Get down!
It's okay. You just scared him.
I scared him?
Everything we know about them is wrong. Let me show you.
Either we finish them, or they'll finish us.
We don't have to fight them. Whoa. Go, baby!
No matter how this ends, it ends today.
What are you gonna do?
Something crazy.
I'm in.
Me too. Sign me up.
I love this plan.
Go.
DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon.
It's like the size of my... Oh! Get it off! It's like the size of my... Oh!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and I swear I put Andrew in here. I don't know why he's out the studio now. All right.
Sorry,
what is going on, guys? Welcome.
Sorry, I had
Wait.
to reply to a message real quick.
Okay, there we go. I think it's all good now. All right, cool. So, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I am the Wolfman, and today we are going to be doing a commentary for the 2010 version of How to Train Your Dragon. Cannot believe this film is 15 years old. That just boggles my mind. I am getting old, guys. Like this is crazy. But we're doing this in preparation for the remake because the remake technically came out tonight. So I know some people have already gotten to see it.
I see it Saturday.
I'm probably going to be seeing it Saturday as well. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. But this is a good kind of way for us to get hyped up for it, get excited for it, because this film, but also this whole trilogy, is really underrated to me because I love all three of the How to Train Your Dragon films, and I feel like they are on par with some of the best trilogies out there, like Toy Story 3. I mean, I know has a fourth one, but Toy Story 1 through 3, and then the original Star Wars trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Apes trilogy. Like in that conversation, you can throw in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. I feel because it's
I do feel unlike other Disney live action remakes. I feel like this movie sets itself up for more of a better live action remake than Disney does. Like as I was rewatching it today, I'll point this out. There were several scenes that I'm like, ooh, okay, that would be cool in live action. Or, ooh, okay, that would be cool to see,
Yeah, no, I think it definitely is suitable for live action. I think it helps knowing that the same director is coming back too. Who did?
Yes, and then he also did the Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, who did? But he didn't do the live action Lilo and Stitch. So
no, but both of them are directed by Chris Sanders. So,
but yeah, both of them are directed by Chris Sanders. But but I thought that, him coming back to do the remake was a really good sign. So I'm really excited to check it out. Now, Tristan, you said you got to see the remake tonight.
Yeah, I narrowly made it back in time for this commentary after seeing the remake. So I'm really excited. I haven't seen this version of the movie in a good amount of years, but I have seen the remake just like an hour ago. I got out of it, so I'm excited
How
to
was
compare
it?
and see it. It's great. Of these live action remakes, it's by a mile the best one. It adds a lot to the movie here and really feels cinematic. So if you like this movie, you're probably gonna love the remake. To be honest with you.
Okay, and plus, like, actually, funny
Nice.
enough, I could have seen this one opening weekend. This How to Train Your Dragon, but instead, me and my cousin, who were like in our 20s, we said we want to see this little kid movie. We actually went and saw Hot Tub Time Machine instead, which both are good, but this is a little better, I think, though. But still, I like Hot Tub Time Machine though.
Yeah, there was I think
You
half
want
an
to see
hour
the
added to the remake of this. So I'm curious to watch this one and try and pick out where the half an hour was added in because I don't remember this super well, but I could pick out a couple of scenes here and there where I said I don't know if that scene was in the original one. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it and compare. And
Yeah,
get thoughts as we go.
people were mad like at the remake though because Jay Baruchel wasn't in it as a kid. I'm thinking you can't have him play a kid.
No. I mean, but at least you get to see Gerard Butler come back as his role, which is really cool. And I know a lot of critics have complained, saying it feels like the exact same movie that was in the original How to Train Your Dragon, like beat for beat. But like you said, if there's a whole nother half hour to it, then how can it be beat for beat, just like the original movie? Because that means there's a whole nother 30 minutes that is like all new material. So that would be so it's kind of interesting. I'll have to. I'm interested to see what stuff that is new, what stuff is all the.
I'm excited to see the new
Astrid.
Astrid. I'm excited to see the new Astrid.
I'm excited.
She is a great. I loved her in The Last of Us. That's why.
Oh yeah, she is great.
Are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
I'm down to get started if y'all are. So I am watching it on Max. Y'all can watch along with us. We are at the DreamWorks logo right now, so it's at the moon. I'm on the moon, guys. Filming this live from the moon. But you guys can just watch along from there, and then
Yes.
if you guys want to. So, yeah. So I will begin the countdown, and then we hit play. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Fun fact, I think the first scene in the movie has music very familiar to the DreamWorks theme. Like the opening scene of this movie feels like an extended DreamWorks theme. Not a negative thing, not an amazing thing. Just an interesting fact I felt.
I do want to though. I do want to like. Speak of the remake, though, I do want to go to that new land in Universal. There's actually How to Train Your Dragon land. You can meet.
Yeah, I do want to go to that, but I hope they didn't do what they did with Nintendo Land, where I heard Nintendo Land is like literally just for kids. Like it's straight up like there's almost nothing adults can have fun with in Nintendo Land. Apparently, that's what I heard. So
there's a roller coaster inside of like inside the How to Train Your Dragon land.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, that'd be fun. Hopefully, it's a good one.
And then they said the shows are really cool too.
The show. Oh,
There's
like
actually
the live performance that they put on.
Yes.
Oh shoot!
Because the guy says like the dragon actually flies above you.
Oh, that's cool.
Funny enough, I hadn't seen this movie in like years. So it's really nice to watch this again. I may have to go onto Peacock tomorrow watch part 2 because I rather enjoyed part 1.
Part 2 is my favorite of the whole trilogy, and I feel it's still to this day tragic that Big Hero 6 beat How to Train Your Dragon 2 for anime feature. But
and I felt part 3 was really, really sweet though.
Let me.
It was, but it's to me 3 is the weakest of the trilogy. But it's one of those cases where if that is your weakest, then you have a damn good trilogy.
Just like do I compare it to though too? Is the
What?
original Indiana Jones trilogy? Do you know how?
Oh,
Temple of Doom is the weakest one, but if that's still the weakest one,
yeah, it's true.
I feel like the voice actor who did Hiccup did a really good job in this movie.
he does great. He does a good job in everything he does. Really,
He gives off this he does the really nerdy voice really well, and the father does a really good job at being a cliche father who's disappointed in his son a little bit, but every time he talks, he gives off that vibe of you could tell that he genuinely cares.
So we have Kid Mike joining us in the chat. Welcome, Kid Mike. My name is Mike as well. I'm not a kid though. I'm adult Mike.
compared
Daddy
to me,
Mike. You can call me that. But no, I'm very happy to see you, Kid Mike. Thank you for being here. It says I just joined. Was this a first time watch or a discussion about the live anime movie? So this was so this is a commentary on How to Train Your Dragon. So basically, we've all already seen it. Some of us we haven't seen it in a while, but we've all seen it, and we're just kind of discussing it. And as the film is going along, so if you want to watch with us, we can tell you where we're time stamped at, and you can try to join us as we watch it. We're at the 4-minute mark, so if you want to join us, we are watching it. We're 4 minutes in, and then we just discuss it along that way. This is I can't show the film on screen, unfortunately, just because of copyright reasons. Because I saw that you wanted us to do that. I wish I could, but because of copyright, I unfortunately can't. And so we're just kind of discussing it like it's a review, but it's a commentary. So
I
and
love
also too,
this movie.
and also too, yeah. But I wonder what they're gonna do for the sequel because they've already announced the sequel.
Yeah, they said that there's interest for Surf from the studio side. So as long as this movie makes money this weekend, they're going to make the sequel. So that would be very cool.
Oh, yeah. Which
Apparently they're trying to get Kate Blanchett to come back to voice the her character because they got Gerard Butler to come back to voice the father.
Oh,
that would work.
Oh yeah, too. But like some of those live action remakes, right? Like and then how this thing there to Lilo and Stitch. When I saw Lilo and Stitch and I saw like Mr. Plinky's, like alien form, right?
Yeah.
It made me worried. You know why?
Why?
Monsters Inc.
What about Monsters Inc.?
No, they're probably gonna announce that because like how they did it, like with the green and the one eye in the Lilo and Stitch live action.
But haven't they done stuff like that before, like Easter eggs in the past? I thought they.
No. I'm just saying, like how he looks. I bet you they could say, "Oh, this looks good." So now we have to do the live, Monsters Inc.
I don't know. I don't think that. I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, all I would say that they haven't done Pixar yet, so that may be safe.
Yeah.
But another thing I really like about this movie is all of the dragons, like different look and the design of them all.
I'll say already, I'm noticing some changes from the remake to this. They've added quite a lot of time at the start of this movie with like the Vikings and their routine and that kind of stuff. You mentioned the dragon designs, and the remake adds a lot more dragons. So if you want to see cool, unique dragon designs, there's a lot more variety of them in the remake than there is in this.
That gets me really excited because I'm seeing it on Saturday afternoon. I could not be more excited.
Yeah, and I mean the animation holds up really well still in this. I think that it looks really nice and really crisp.
Hey, Tristan, I do have a question that might be a little spoilery, but I don't consider it. Do they use the same score?
A lot of the same themes are in there. It might not be like the same literal score, but they use some of the same songs, like that main theme and that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
was
not
going
too
to
much
say
of a spoiler
they
question,
have
is it?
they have to do that. Like if they didn't do that, then I would have been absolutely
The
upset.
music is just too good in this tonight. Again,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love the score in this movie.
Let me look up who it is. I forget.
I think the score legitimately adds so much to this movie in terms of making it feel very cinematic. Like in terms of animated movies, this feels more cinematic than the large majority of them. You know, and I love Disney movies, but this feels more on the side of like an action movie and a fantasy movie than you would get out of
Oh, yeah.
traditional Disney animated movies, which are fun, but they don't have that like large scale fantasy cinematic scale that this movie does.
I feel like this is their version of like the Disney musical number, because the Disney musical number, like, oh my god, they have to be on the big screen because of all the dancing and all the movement. You know, for this, it's more of the action, which to me is not a problem. And I mentioned Adam, I really like the Viking vibe of this movie.
But yeah, we'll get to it. But I agree in how cinematic this feels in scope and in scale, because when we and just with the way the music adds to it, because when he's flying onto this in this film and you hear the
Amazing,
the whole thing and the whole way it's shot and the way it goes from behind Toothus and around to that's just like, to me, I was like, oh my god, this feels almost like more magic than like Disney magic. You know, it feels like really
funny enough, I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not, but I think the second flight with Hiccup, the one where Aster joins them on Hiccup, I prefer that flight over just Hiccup and Toothlessness.
I honestly agree with you. Watching it again, I thought that was really emotional, especially whenever she says that, like, you know, the I'm sorry, and then he looks up, and like Toothless was like, there you go. Wanted you to say that, and then
yes, and oh my god, I love this line.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's not you, just like it's everything inside of you or something like that. I'm like, okay, that's a funny line.
And Kid Mike says he's going to the live action one tonight at 9. So hopes it lives up to the hype. Hope it does for you too, man.
Yeah, come back and tell us what you think. I was really impressed by it, you know, especially after coming off of Lilo and Stitch. It was just like such a whiplash of quality.
Oh yeah,
and I liked Lilo and Stitch, so I'm even more excited for this movie now because I just loved this live action, this animated version. So I'm curious how the live action is going to hold up, especially with the vibe of the Vikings. And I love it when movies are set up in an atmosphere where it feels so rich and it feels so like cinematic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like everyday kind of like outfits and like everyday kind of this, you know. It feels very period. It feels like a period piece.
Yeah, and it feels accurate to Vikings. Like it's not something where you know you're watching it saying this is not how Vikings would act. You know. And
this also too, like this actually makes me think though. I would love like an animated version of a game. You know, like I mean, like an animated version of the Lost Vikings game.
Yeah.
Tristan, you remember that game, right?
I vaguely remember that game.
Where you controlled 3 of them at once.
That sounds fun.
If you know what the Vikings make me think of in this movie for some reason,
I almost want to see the new one in 40X, but I don't think I'll be able to make it because like the flying scenes, I'm sure would be like amazing in 40X. But
yeah, my first 40X experience was watching the trailer for that movie in 40X, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the way to watch movies now.
Yeah.
Dude, you know something weird? Whenever I see the Vikings in this movie, I always think of D&D. Like, for some reason, I think the Vikings...
Yeah, and Vikings are in D&D. So.
Style game.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you see? Look, those 3. Yes. Imagine an animated style in that style of that game.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because they do kind of look like, the dad and that Gobber. Is Gobber in the remake, Tristan? Please tell me he is.
Yeah. Basically, there's not a ton of changes to it. It's more additions, Like, you're not going to see stuff removed.
Okay. Most relatable aspect of this animated film was Hiccup running into that tree just now. And that branch hitting him in the face. Because that is me frequently with anything.
And something else I loved about this movie is the pacing of this movie feels so like there's no okay, you could have cut that out moment.
Yeah.
The casting, Gobber is in it, and he's perfect casting too.
Who's playing him?
Nick Frost.
Oh yeah, that is perfect casting. Holy
and Julian
shit.
Dennison's in it apparently too.
And How to Train Your Dragon.
Ooh.
I love Julian Dennison.
And here's our boy Toothless, which he looks the exact same in the remake for the trailer, at least from what I've noticed.
What a gorgeous character design too. I feel like part of the success of this trilogy is purely just Toothless being like the cutest character to ever exist in the world. Like how do you see that face and not fall in love immediately?
He's like a dog with wings. Like, come on.
I even put down my notes. Screw a boy and his dog. This is a boy and his dragon.
Speaking of someone who's cute, Kid Mike talks about Stitch, saying that Lilo and Stitch did upset me. Don't get me wrong, Stitch was amazing, but the script was just wrong. Hopefully this is as the animated. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the difference is you had Lilo and Stitch where you took a movie from a director and handed it off to some like studio to make, and then this you handed it off to the director who made the first movie, who has an actual love and a passion for the movie. And he mentioned in the interview that he was not approached to do Lilo and Stitch, and I feel like that kind of bothered him. So yeah. He made a point about how like Disney never does that. They don't ask the director to come back, but Universal did, and he really respects him for that.
Yep, and they're
which is I hope that How to Train Your Dragon remake is successful, so it will let any other remakes that they decide to do down the line get the original directors and such for those projects, so then they can.
I honestly think it will.
I think it will too. I think it will do well.
Because the only other family movie coming out is Elio, or Elio. And I have not seen good box office projections for that movie. So I feel that
I'm turned off of Elio.
The highest grossing film of June is going to be F1, like straight up.
Yeah, it's that's picture winner right there.
Really?
I'm turned off of Elio. Though. I'm turned.
Are you being sarcastic, Michael?
No, I'm being legit, dude. Look up for like Forza 1 Motorsports or whatever it is, like the race that that racing thing. It is nationwide. People are obsessed with F1. Or it's worldwide. Worldwide. Yeah. Worldwide.
Yes. It actually shut down Vegas.
I do think How to Train Your Dragon is gonna make more money, actually, funny enough.
I don't know, dude. Again, you gotta do the research. F1 racing is like insanely popular.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I know that, but I mean, I think film going wise, How to Train Your Dragon is going to be bigger. Like
I wonder about domestic versus international. So I could see How to Train Your Dragon beating F1 domestically, and then internationally.
Domestically, I agree. Yeah, international, I think F1's gonna beat it. So.
Can I give you a prime example?
What?
My dad loves F1. I said I wanted to go see the movie with him. He's like, yeah, I'd go see that with you. He's not like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see this. But I feel like F1 people are in there for the race kind of a thing. So that's why I think it's still going to do really, really good. But I think this is going to do better.
You
But
know how
I
many,
could be completely wrong. Watch me be completely wrong.
do you know how many people showed up for a 3-day event in Vegas for F1? Do you know how many last year they did?
But
Oh,
They reported 306,000 people showed up.
because
That's not just a little bit.
yeah,
here's the thing when it comes to sports and film, they don't like sometimes. I feel like sometimes sports is being there and seeing it in real life and seeing the oh my god, look at everything that's going on kind of a thing. Where in film it's a little bit different.
yeah.
I still think it's going to be huge.
I mean, I can understand that, but also like F1 is bigger than football. It's bigger than lacrosse. It's bigger than baseball. It's bigger than all of this right now. Like that's how big it's growing. Like it's getting massive.
I do believe that, and I'm curious to how many people that go see F1 will account for ticket sales. That is the question.
But also,
And again, I kind of see Tristan's point where I think that domestically, I think How to Train Your Dragon will do better. But I think that internationally, because F1 is huge internationally, F1 racing, I think internationally F1's going to do better.
I could see that for another reason as well.
But why?
Because when you look at what movies do better internationally, it's more action-based movies. Because everybody can connect to things like, ooh, the Hulk is going to be fighting somebody, and he's punching him in the face, and everybody, and everybody, in America we can appreciate that. In Japan, everybody can appreciate that. In France, everybody can appreciate that. Where Formula One is car racing, that's exciting everywhere too,
Yeah.
So it's got that. It's got more of that material that will be appreciated by people that maybe they don't speak English.
Going back to this movie though, real quick, I just want to speak on the ensemble of characters here, like with like Astrid and Hiccup and
Fish Legs is my favorite.
Like the way they all work together, the way they all have like their camaraderie here. It's just.
And I'm
very
in this movie. I adore Astrid.
Oh,
yeah, if you adore Astrid, I'm excited for you to see the remake because she has a lot more screen time.
She's incredibly cute in this movie, and for people watching this, yes, I know she's young. I mean, cute in the nice, innocent way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting about the remake is when you get to that like gladiator combat kind of scene we just saw, you've already spent a good amount of time with all of those teenage characters, and you've gotten to know all of them pretty well. And
how much time would you say roughly?
Like you at least get a scene or two with each of those characters, like in their lives and like with their families and that kind of thing. So by the time you get to that team up, like you understand all these teenage characters and you spent time with them, and you feel like not just Hiccup's story, but all of them are kind of part of the story.
Wow. Yeah, I was kind of blown away looking at I don't know how much it's dropped since, but when I was looking at the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, it was 79% and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, whoa, okay. And then Letterboxd, which is like, oh, I am a film bro kind of community of people, it had a 3.9 average last I checked, and I was like, whoa, that's really damn good. and so
out of 5, right?
3.9 out of 5, yeah, average.
Okay, I'm just making sure it was 3.9 out of 10 because I'd be
no.
Fuck, that's not good.
The last time and that's rare for Letterboxd. It's hard for even a movie to get to 4, let alone a 3.9. I was like, whoa, okay, so that's really good. if it has that kind of rating on there. And when I first saw the reviews, like the very first time reviews came out, it was at like a 4.1 on Letterboxd, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." I was like, "This is kind of."
John Campy is singing for a second time tonight too.
Yeah, I know he really likes it. So
he saw it at CinemaCon.
Yeah,
and apparently he said the first maybe like 10-15 minutes are not good, and then as soon as you get past that hump, it's like, oh my god, it goes from good to great kind of a thing.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a good beginning, but the majority of the movie's like incredibly amazing.
Kid Mike brings up a good point that the most amazing part in this movie is the detail in Toothless eyes. I always love that part. Yeah, the detail in how his eyes are, the expressions in which he, conveys emotion in this. It's really beautiful, and like he's his own character, and he says so many words in just expressions. He doesn't even say anything, which is
a perfect example in that character.
When did you guys become a Jay Baruchel fan? Because mine was like 20 years ago.
I probably have to look. He's just sneaked up into stuff so often.
You know what mine was? Mine was in $1 Million Baby.
Yeah. Well, what were you gonna say, Tristan? Earlier?
I was gonna say, that design on Hiccup is a really perfect balance of like fantastical and realistic. It doesn't look like a real dragon, as much as a real dragon could exist, but it also kind of does. Like it has that mix of cartoonish, but also realism, and I think it's a perfect balance. And you look at stuff like the live action Lion King, which went like so far into realism that it became like off-putting because it looked just like a lion standing there. And this looks like an animal, but it also has that cartoonish, expressive eyes and that kind of stuff that I think adds a lot to the character.
I love how they're giving so much exposition of how the dragons look like.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, oh, okay, we're gonna teach you how these dragons look. No, it feels organic. It feels, like, okay, you're learning with Hiccup.
Yeah, it feels like there's like lore there that you've missed, and it's like catching you up on the lore of this world, almost like a D&D campaign. It's like lore that you've missed. It's like trying to catch you up on it, and it's really
in a lesser film. You would start off with an opening narration explaining this all.
Yeah. You said that this film. You said you wish it started off with that, or
no. I said in a lesser film it would have.
Oh, in a lesser film, yeah.
Except for Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the Rings.
No,
is one of the rare examples.
I understood Lord of the Rings because they had a lot of backstory to give away of the ring. Yeah. Several people made the rings. How it went from here to there to here to there. Then it got to Bilbo Baggins.
True. So real quick, Kid Mike, you just became Tristan's best friend because he says he is pulling a Tristan here using some fighting words. How you're like confident in it will win Best Picture and all this stuff. He is here talking about it in terms of box office, saying that F1 is going to be one of the highest grossing films ever, to be honest, with it being more popular than any sport in the world. And it is going to surpass Gran Turismo, and I can't wait. So
he's correct. Come back here on Oscar nomination day, and we'll talk about it some more. And then,
Gran Turismo
Oscar ceremony, that's going to be the night.
Have you seen that, Tristan? Yeah, have you seen Gran Turismo?
I liked Gran Turismo. Yeah, it
was one of the biggest surprises I've ever had. Really,
it was actually really good.
All I'm gonna say, be careful with your predictions for that movie, because sometimes sport audiences don't accumulate for audiences coming out to see the movie.
True, but you also have to realize too, this is also the same director of Top Gun Maverick, and they are pushing that heavily. And Top Gun Maverick was
the reviews right now.
a $1 billion film. So like
some reviews have come out already too.
So it's not only is F1 the most popular sport in the world, but heavily all over all the marketing. It's director of Top Gun Maverick, director of Top Gun Maverick, like everywhere. And that is a $1 billion film.
Pretty cool. I'll mention to compare this to the remake. It's a slight spoiler, I guess, in terms of a change to a scene. But that shot we got a little bit ago of them going off into the fog, and you get that really crazy, cool shot of the dragons and the lightning. It's like a 1 second shot in this movie. It's a full sequence in the remake.
Oh, wow!
That, but can I ask you a question but about the director of Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah.
Is it Top Gun Maverick that made it that much money, or is it the director?
I mean, it was Tom Cruise.
People follow directors now.
Or Tom Cruise.
I mean, it was Tom Cruise and such, but the thing is because Top Gun Maverick became such a beloved classic, basically, by advertising this is the director of Top Gun Maverick, like people are gonna be like, oh fuck, I'm seeing that. Like people are gonna like, holy shit, I'm taking all my time away I can to see that. Like the moment you put Top Gun Maverick director in there.
Do you think it's gonna be a hit?
Oh, a hit? Oh, easily. Like there's no questions asked. It's gonna be a hit.
The only reason I'm asking that is one reason.
Why?
Apple spent $300 million on the budget.
And this is the only time I feel like it will pay off. This is the only time you will ever hear me say this. Is I think that.
Yeah, speaking of Apple, that new show drop too. That new show drop now. Apparently, they said
the Owen Wilson one.
No, the Timothy Chalamet.
Wait, there's a Timothy Chalamet show.
Yep, Carmelet or something. Oh, I forget what it's called though. But yeah,
that's not Timothy Chalamet.
It looked like him. Yeah,
it looks like him, but that's not him. It's his lookalike. Yeah, this introduction here with once he has this interaction with Toothless and the way that their bonding grows, like this is just almost like a dog and like a man's best friend. This is the best dog movie to exist out here. Is How to Train Your Dragon.
Actually, it's more actually a boy and his cat.
It's more of a dog. I'm sorry, he has more dog behavior.
These are very dog-like activities right here.
Yeah.
My dog's laying right next to me, watching with me.
Yeah, exactly. See, and he's got more of your dog. I mean, he's got more of your dog kind of rolling around and on the ground, and wanting raw fish, like whole like that, just eating it like that's what a dog would do. Begging for that, sitting like that for the raw fish. Like it's got the dog tendencies there, but sit. That's smiling. I don't know how you expect him to eat that fish if he's toothless.
Yeah, because fish are not good to eat. Are not good to eat if you don't have teeth.
What was okay? I guess it's just because it maybe because he's a dragon that breathes fire, it's more comfortable. But what was the point in him breathing fire on the ground to lay down? Like, can't he just?
He had to warm it up, The dog's up being warm.
Yeah, we always like to lay down in a warm bed, as opposed
That's true.
to.
Okay, you're right. It's not him, but do you know why I got confused?
Yeah, it looks like him.
See?
Yeah,
right there. That's what I saw.
No, that does look a lot like Timothy Chalamet.
Interesting. That's
It
not
does
him
look
though.
like him. You are right.
Yeah,
I saw that show on there, and for a second I was like, "What the hell? Did I miss something?" Then I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh, it's not him."
But Poker Face dropped today.
yeah, new Pokerface. Yeah,
That show has been great.
Season 2 though is not as good as season 1, but it's still great.
and then, okay, that's a little far fetched. I will say that it is going to make. I think it's going to make 1 billion for sure. I think 1 billion is actually in the realm of possibility. But
I think 1.5 is the ceiling.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I think it's? Do you know what I think its floor is? Honestly, though,
What?
900 million.
Yeah, I think that's like the lowest it could.
Yeah,
I think that's,
yeah.
yeah, I think that's the lowest it makes.
You guys are very confident in this film.
You guys do, Tristan.
Hey,
I don't know if I'm like 1.5 billion confident.
You're the one screaming it'll win Best Picture, man. Okay, so you're just as confident. All
That's
right.
true. I'm confident in its reception. You know.
Yeah. But we'll have to see. I mean, I think Brad Pitt has the same kind of. I think he's still a box office star. So, you know. And if this makes 1.2 billion or 1.5 billion, it'll prove he's still a box office star.
And he looks good for his age too.
Oh, that's like one of my absolute favorite scenes that they captured in the original, just from the trailer alone. Of,
Beautiful shot
of him holding out his hand, and or that they captured in the remake from the trailer alone, is what I'm say. But when he's holding out his hand, yeah, he's like looking away, and then he just touching him. It's just very beautiful.
It's such a beautiful, like, universal kind of shot, of connection across species, and you've seen that kind of story told across so many, like, centuries of storytelling. The boy and his dog story has been told so many times, but moments like that kind of call back to, like, the centuries of the story being told again and again and again, and what it means to us as, like, a species.
Yeah, because
timeless tale.
I remember I was like taught this thing. I don't know if it's true, but it seemed like there's really only like 8 stories, but there's so many variations on the stories.
Yeah. Oh my man, that dude. Okay, you're already big enough as it is, but eating like a whole freaking, what is that? Turkey? Or like look at that. He's got a baby chicken right there. And he's got a freaking fish, and then this Viking dude has a whole freaking chicken that's like this big on the stick, and I'm like, dude, like, no way are you gonna eat that all. If you do, then kudos to you. I love this part too, where he's like drawing out the idea, the blueprint. It's got the montage scene of him trying to come up with all the stuff for Toothless, like the tail and everything like that. It's like what we see in superhero movies, where the superhero is like making a suit for the first time and such.
The box of scraps.
Is that you made that from a box of scraps? Yeah.
I think it's super. Did you hear what David Cornsweet came out and said today?
What?
At the start of Superman, he's gonna be in year 3 of being a superhero. He said.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just like a year 2 Batman. Okay. But do they make that like longer in the remake? Him like trying to, or is it about the same?
It's probably about the same.
Okay.
A lot of the additions I felt were on like the first act or so.
Who plays
the Vikings?
Who plays the kid in the remake?
I didn't know him from anything. I don't think I did.
He's isn't he the kid from the Black Phone?
It may have been. I haven't seen the Black Phone.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he was in the Black Phone and he's going to be in the Black Phone 2 this year, as well as How to Train Your Dragon.
You are right. He was in the Black Phone, and he was also on the TV show For All Mankind. So I saw him in there, although I don't remember him.
Nice. I need to finish up that show, but yeah, he was good in the Black Phone. So I'm sure he's going to be good as.
Which that film was a tiny bit overrated for me, though.
Yeah, it was a little overrated for me too, but
you should really watch the film.
But the acting was really good in it. I will say that. Like the
I'll give it a watch at some point.
There's one thing that really bugged me about it though too, is the supernatural elements.
Well, then you're not gonna like Black Phone 2.
No. I don't mean that. I don't like. Okay, now that I know, like the first one worked better as without the supernatural elements. I meant, like.
Yeah, but I mean, the plot for Black Phone 2, it's all supernatural. Like it's
okay.
going
Then I wouldn't mind
forward.
that. It's because like hopefully like I feel like in the first one, like like it was almost like a contrast of tones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, because Tristan, like you've seen Misery, right?
That's
Yeah.
Imagine if Misery, she suddenly started imagine like he was started visiting by like Annie Wilkes' former victims that are ghosts. Like they still calling him.
This scene is super well shot, kind of intense.
It's very cool.
Now, when I was rewatching it the other day, I have to look. I didn't look at the actual IMDb credits again. I was looking at the actual credits, like as they were playing along, on my TV, and I swear I saw Roger Deacon's name in there. Like if he does the actual like being the director of photography for an anime film like How to Train Your Dragon, that'd be kind of.
I don't really think they have those really though. They're just the animators.
I think they do.
I'm reading right now saying the filmmakers hired cinematographer Roger Deakins as a visual consultant to help them with the aesthetics of the film and to add a live action feel.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's why it looks so beautiful.
You can tell it looks so much better than a lot of its contemporaries, isn't it? It's got to be Deakins. All those exterior shots and like the wide shots of the Viking world and the cities and that kind of stuff. It looks almost like indistinguishable from live action. It doesn't quite look live action, but it's one of those things where it's narrowly there.
Yeah, but also too, do you know what else too though? Speaking of like cinematography and stuff, that's why they say that the Scream 4K is taking so long too. Do you know why? They're trying to like clean the movie up is because like Wes Craven actually said he put Vaseline on the camera in some shots.
Oh wow.
It would have been fun to see more of the cast come back.
Yeah, like maybe like I can see Jay Baruchel doing like the scene in the town, like he plays like a vendor, in the shop or something, like he plays a shop owner, and just like a quick cameo.
Like David Tennant, you got David Tennant on call. You got to get him back.
Oh yeah, David Tennant. I mean, he can do no wrong. You have to get David Tennant.
I love this little stubby dragon. One of my favorites.
His son is also really good, isn't he?
Which also kind of gives me that Dungeons and Dragons feel because of how many different kinds of dragons there are in that universe. Mm-hmm. The way that you have all these various designs and such. It's really cool.
Yeah, but also too, like, right, Mike, isn't David Tennant's son really good too, huh?
In this movie?
No, I just mean in general.
Who is David Tennant's son?
Did you ever watch House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
The guy with the eye patch.
Oh, okay, yeah. That does look like David Tennant a little bit. All right.
Oh, you said that blue dragon looks like the fish looks like David Tennant. You think David Tennant looks like a fish?
Wait, I said the blue dragon looks like David
Tennant?
I was
joking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look, see, that's like a dog and a cat, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
there's the cat.
Yeah, that's the cat right there. The chasing the little dot there.
So Tristan, I need an opinion though on the remake. Okay,
mm-hmm.
Does Pedro Pascal make a cameo because he's in everything?
I'll now confirm or deny a Pedro Pascal appearance, but he is in everything.
Yeah. We have another, hello from a new person, which is Snowy Bro VR and Plush Tube. How are you doing, Snowy Bro VR
and Plush Tube?
And Plush Tube, yes.
Hey! Actually,
I love a good plush toy.
Speaking of Pedro Pascal, though, Fantastic Four has two of the actors that are almost getting oversaturated: Joseph Quinn and him.
Yeah, Joseph Quinn is popping up in a lot, but I feel like it hasn't gotten to the annoying stage of Pedro Pascal yet, though. Yeah, like Joseph Quinn is still really just getting his career kicked off, and then it's like, but yeah,
But he's also going to be in the Beatles, isn't he? Or
who, Joseph Quinn?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forget which Beatle he's going to play, but yeah. Also, this movie was kind of a big moment for Gerard Butler, because at this time Gerard Butler was basically only doing those like ridiculous action movies or those ridiculous romantic comedies that he was in, and that was basically his whole career up until this point. Then he was in How to Train Your Dragon, and people were kind of blown away by this movie, so it kind of helped his career, I feel.
What's the worst Gerard Butler rom-com you guys have ever seen?
Oh, I have to think about that.
He's been in a good amount of them. I'm happy he was able to make it into this remake, because I read that he was originally not going to be able to make it because of conflicts with like something else that he was filming at the same time, probably stuff like Plane and whatever he was making that at that time. But he ended up being able to make it because of the actor's strike. Like, shifted schedule was around, and all of a sudden he could be in the remake when he wasn't able to before. So a nice little result of that terrible time.
Yeah.
Me either, but the worst one though he ever did was called Playing for Keeps.
Oh yeah, that was The Bounty Hunter was not that good. Was not that good.
Oh, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like
That came out the same year as this.
Yeah.
Like years ago, I saw The Bounty Hunter, but okay.
Yeah.
I need.
God, the score in this sequence is amazing.
So good. Oh my god. And like how cinematic it is, like that. Okay, that does not surprise me about the Roger Deacon stuff, because you can see just how cinematic this whole scene feels.
Yeah.
And from it, and I was telling my mom about this movie, is that like it, because she's a big Harry Potter fan, at least was, but the that it feels a lot like, Harry writing Buckbeak, for the
Oh yeah.
like for the first time when he's on Buckbeak, and it's just that like kind of beautiful
Yes.
moment of just kind of like freedom of youth in a way, which I really like. Just
You're experiencing that freedom for the first time. Like when you're getting in your car for the first time and you can drive wherever you want or something like that. You feel like, oh my god, I can finally be free.
Yeah.
Yeah, like which one though? This one feels like do it also feels like to me a bit. The first Avatar.
When he's got to break that flying alien.
Yes.
I can't remember what they call him, but yeah, I know the scene you're talking about. God, I feel like when you hear the score for the first time, you're like, okay, I think we've got it. Like
Because man, this is a banger. This definitely is maybe up there for like the best animated film score of all time. I think that that the way that you see in that moment their friendship grow, but also how like the whole tail thing that he built, how it works and everything, was kind of cool to show that as well. Let's see how I'm curious. I need to look this up real quick just so I know for sure. It was John Powell who did the score for,
and then he does the new one too.
Yeah, apparently he did. Apparently he also. It says he also did Wicked, the score for Wicked. So there you go.
Oscar nominated.
So,
I feel like it's too soon to talk about what gets scored like all time. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it just even though I loved it, it hasn't like done the test of time yet.
Yeah. No,
He actually co-composed too. Why I can underrated animated film too, which was The Road to El Dorado.
Road to El Dorado. Wow.
He basically like the DreamWorks composer.
Okay, good. Okay, it was nominated for. I was having to check. I wanted to see if it was nominated for Best Original Score because if they would have snubbed that, holy shit.
I would have been like, what else is nominated?
Yeah. I'm trying to look up the 2011 Oscars to see what won that year, but for original score. Because that was 2010. That was a really good year because you had like, the Social Network score and like.
Okay, the right film won for score though.
Which one?
The Social Network.
The Social Network. Oh, okay, yeah.
That score is so good.
And then also too. Wait, here's also was nominated: 127 Hours. Great score. How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
Inception.
Yeah.
And The King's Speech.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All those are really good. I would have maybe thrown in like Black Swan in there too, but that's all.
Really I'm so excited to talk to the sun right now.
Oh yeah. Or like Toy Story 3 as well. That would have been one I could have thrown in there for a score now.
Actually, Mike, though, like when you said in part 2, like in Big Hero 6-1, because like this did not deserve to win Best Animated Feature that year, though.
That what? How to Train Your Dragon 2? How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay. I'm happy that part 2, part 2 should have won, but this one shouldn't have, huh?
Well, what was it up against?
Toy Story 3 beat it.
Oh, Toy Story 3. Oh yeah.
I guess if we're gonna lose anything, you can lose Toy Story 3.
Yeah, Toy Story 3. That definitely was superior, but I still love this one, and yeah, and here it's kind of interesting, the father and son dynamic here, but it's kind of tragic in a way to see how disrespected Hiccup is by his father because he wants his father to be something that he isn't, And
I think what's great about the character too is they could have so easily written that father to just be like a one-note asshole kind of dad who hates his kid or whatever, but you see the dad just wants to understand his son and connect with him in some way, and he doesn't really know how. He's not mean, he's not vengeful, he's not hateful. He just like doesn't really get his son, and his son doesn't really get him either. It's not a toxic relationship on either side. It's just two people who really want to understand each other that can't find a way in, and it adds to the tragedy because it'd be easy to root against the character if he was just a bad dad, but he's not a bad dad.
No, because but Tristan, like in this other group, we were asking who's the worst animated dad of all time, and guess what we said?
Who?
The dad in Chicken Little.
Probably.
Yeah. There's
he literally says, "I have no son."
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, I do know that in this film, he does outright say to Hiccup at one point, he says, "You are not my son," and it's really messed up that a dad would even say that to his own son. But he does get redeemed by the end of this movie.
But too,
I feel it's a little. We'll get to it, but I feel like it's a little rushed, his redemption, in this original film, just because it's like what he says was just and how he is just so wicked that it's like what a bunch of dragons like swooping in to like burn this bigger dragon's automatically going to make you like stop thinking dragons are bad and like will make you want to completely change your personality and everything. Like it felt a little rushed. Like I needed a little bit more explaining on why he was.
You know what I like? You
but-
know what I like too, like about this movie too, is that like at the end, you know, like when like all of them rush in, how they're all riding like the dragon that fits their personalities is the best.
Yeah. Oh man. I think the kind of cutesy little romance here is fun because I actually was in something similar to that where it's like the girl liked me, but like the way she showed she liked me was she didn't want to admit it. So she would be like, she would like punch me and then she would like kiss me on the cheek. And I'd be like, oh, I'm so confused. and it was just like something really.
You know what would be a fun like animated commentary to do around Christmas time though?
What?
Klaus.
That would be a good one. Yeah, Klaus is really good.
Did you see that one, Tristan?
I did. I liked Klaus a lot. It's on the rotation every year now.
It was my pick. It was my pick to win Best Anime Feature that year. In terms of what should have won, in my opinion. But yeah,
because Toy Story 4.
Yeah. Toy Story 4 was groundbreaking in animation, I'll say that. But it's like
it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, but like the movie itself was good, but you know.
Isn't it Malcolm's favorite of the series?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, this right here, this is my favorite flying scene in the movie.
Do you want to notice too though about this though? Look at the trees though with the pine needles. How many movies do you really think would animate the pine needles?
I know that they do a really great job. And look at the sun, the way the sun is beaming over top of the water.
Yeah, look at all those waves and everything. Look at the detail in the water. That's what I think is so good about this movie is it captures the world and like the nature. And I think when you're thinking about Vikings, like living among the water, among the trees, that's something you think about. And it could have been so easy to shrug that off, but making the foliage and the trees all feel so realized, I think just like we said, it just makes it so much more cinematic than it could have been. Look at that shot. Like that's a movie shot right there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's super cinematic. And the fact that, I talked about this in Toy Story 4 is like how the rain in that film looked uncanny real. I was like, oh my God, is this even like actual animated rain? And I felt that way about the water in this. Like it doesn't really look like animated water. Like they just straight up like made it look like they're actually flying in water. It was really good. And yeah, the way she's touching the clouds there, like I just think that this is such a beautiful kind of realization moment for her.
Yes.
God, that shot of the dragon flying off into the clouds is just next level.
And the way the camera turns like this as and spins alongside the characters, oh man, it's just some beautiful stuff here. And now they're in the Northern Lights. Like, how great would it be to be able to fly up that high and say, you're in the Northern Lights? All I can say is that I have jumped out of a plane from 10,000 feet up in the air.
Oh my God.
And because I went skydiving once and I did get to touch a cloud and actually go through it and all that kind of stuff. And it was,
how was it?
It was it was cold. Like it was interesting. It was a hot day, a nice hot day. But then you go through that and it's like actually like freezing cold. Like when you go through the clouds and such. And then it's like,
have you guys ever seen the Northern Lights though? Have you guys ever seen them?
I have.
I have not. I wish I could. I'm going
to be seeing them in August because we're going on a cruise to Alaska. So Tori and I are actually gonna take a picture of the Northern Lights.
Oh,
you can see them from Michigan and a couple of states that are not a long drive from me. So I've seen them a couple of times. But I'd love to go and see them in like Alaska or like a glacier or somewhere. You're like truly seeing the Northern Lights.
Yeah, it's gonna be on a cruise. We're not getting internet on the cruise, so I won't be able to reach you guys.
Yeah,
it's a 12-day cruise, and I'm not paying $85 a day for internet.
Jeez, that's a lot of money. Holy shit! This scene. So I was talking about it. How? No, not this scene. It's another scene. We'll get to it. But there's another scene that kind of reminds me of of a scene from House of the Dragon. And we'll discuss because it was like I was watching.
This
it again,
is beautiful
I was like,
here.
I was
This
like,
is
yeah, House of
beautiful.
Dragon, but this is really beautiful of all the dragons flying together and
You
just
said, Tristan, this is a full sequence, right? In the
I was talking about the previous
oh
scene where the Viking ships are going off into a similar situation like this, but yeah, it's like this where it's like a bunch of dragons in the fog at once, and you see a large variety of them like you have here.
yeah, they're just they're all I love how they're all flying in sync together, and they're looking at each other almost basically for that like kind of acceptance, and I don't know, it's really beautiful. It's like it again has that freedom kind of thing where not only just for like they're flying on the dragons and it has that moment of freedom for the humans, but also in that moment of all the dragons flying, you feel that
this reminds me
freedom
of Lord of the Rings.
with the dragons as well, which is
This reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, especially with
And
the
Star Wars.
Yeah, especially the end of Fellowship, inside the Mines of Moria. Yeah, I definitely.
And Star Wars, right? And does it remind you of Mustafar?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a bit. It definitely reminds me more though of Mines of Moria, but yeah.
Here's my
There's
favorite.
always a bigger fish.
Yep, this is a big boy. I mean, he's a huge boy. Like, damn.
That reminds me of the Mosasaurus, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
You've lost a member. One dragon down.
Andrew left.
One dragon. One.
It's okay. I've got Toothless next to me now, and look, I got a new friend. Hey, buddy.
Oh, you got another dog next to you?
Toothless right here.
Oh,
my new best friend.
I don't want to make Toothless a universal thing because apparently it is actually it. Did you know that?
Yeah, you're right next to Toothless, which on the screen, which is great. Yeah,
it's actually it actually is like a full-blown puppet or somebody inside the suit of Toothless, and it looks really good.
That's really cool.
And hey, I get to ride Toothless on my screen. Yeah, go Toothless. Whoa, I'm riding him, getting that dragon experience. Yeah, see, like that punch of like that's for kidnapping me, and then this like kiss and like that's for everything else. It's like I've had
Mike.
Oh, whoa,
that's it. Yeah,
that looks really good. That's like almost uncanny. But yeah, it's I think that's really cute. That little young love kind of thing there. So, we talked about Gerard Butler, being in this movie and everything, and like him reprising his role, but like how is he in the live action form? Like we didn't actually talked about.
He's good. It's not his best acting. He's kind of like doing a bit a little bit, but it's fun to see him do the bit. He's doing a goofy voice in a little bit and stuff like that. He's dressed kind of ridiculous, but that's kind of what you expect in this kind of a role for him.
Oh yeah, does he really have the full beard and everything too?
Yeah, they make him look a lot like that, and I think that's why they brought him back instead of like David Tennant or something like that, because he somewhat fits the build of the Vikings. David Tennant's like a lanky dude. He'd kind of look weird if he was like playing a Viking, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, anytime that like Gerard Butler does a weird voice, my trauma comes up because I've seen movie 43 with him doing the Leprechaun.
Oh yeah, it's not movie 43 level bad, but
no, oh God.
Tristan, no, we actually know people, and then we're not joking either. We know people who actually like unironically like movie 43.
Rough.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, okay. There he is. He's back. I think. Where'd you go, man?
Damn, that's cool.
Did you fall asleep?
Sorry. What I was doing before took a lot out of me.
What took a lot out of you?
The
'Cause
Newsies?
you know how I did that Newsies drinking game before.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened sometimes is it's like I felt like really good. I'm like, oh man, I'm really good. I could do this. I'm gonna do great. I could do this. And then like 30 minutes like after I drink, I'm like, it's really
Yeah.
hitting me now.
Already regretting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hitting me now.
Well, do you think you can last the rest of the stream, or
Yeah.
We're almost there. We got like half an hour.
you sure?
Yes. Again. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Back in
It's
time
like-
for the good stuff anyway, you know?
Yeah, it's okay. I dropped you out of the stream because I didn't know if you were coming back or not, but
That's why I gave you guys a heads up beforehand.
yeah. So now, I mean, we'll know next time if you have a drinking thing planned. We'll just work through that and such, and we'll just have you join when you're like probably sober on like another stream or something like that. But
Okay.
it's still fine. But
So, Mike, are you talking about your drinking game on Saturday?
yeah, so Saturday we have our tradition every summer. We always kick off the summer with a Friday 13th movie. So since it's the summertime, so we're doing the not Jason Friday 13th, which is part 5. So
Really not a good movie.
Isn't in part 5.
no, it's literally an imposter dressed up as Jason. And they
The
literally
opening scene is Jason.
they literally try to do a whole Scooby. They literally try to do a Scooby Doo reveal. They're like, pull off his mask, like, oh, it was this guy who no one knew. It was like, really?
Where it
Not a great movie.
doesn't work like that in those type of movies.
Yeah.
And
Like,
also too, like I have an unpopular opinion though. I actually think that sheet thing he wore in part 2 is actually a little bit creepier than the hockey mask.
Yeah. And also the hockey mask in the 5th one sucks. Like who thinks Jason should have like blue on his mask? Like what? No, that's weird. I don't like blue. It's like it's always been red, like on the mask, which is really dumb. But yeah, this is the part that
Jesus here.
this is the part that's like where his dad goes way too far. And
But okay, this is different though. Do you know why too?
why?
Because in Chicken Little, he does it in front of a crowd of people. In front of the town, he says, "I have no son."
Yeah,
This is in private, so
true. Still bad. It's almost like there will be blood, where it's in private, but he still tells his son, says, "You were an orphan in a basket. You are no son of mine," kind of deal.
I don't think it's that bad. Because I was watching the Nostalgia Critics review of this movie, and he brings up one thing.
What?
Look at the shot of the dad, like right after he leaves.
Yeah.
Look at the shot of him.
Oh yeah, of him like having like almost like pain and I guess regret.
Yeah. So it's clear from that shot, you're like, ooh, like even though that he said all that stuff, he still genuinely does care about his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shot is really important because it shows that he made an emotionally bad decision, but it was something he didn't mean, you know. It doesn't
Yeah.
make it right, but we've all been there where we've been heated in a moment and we said something that hurt somebody we cared about, and we say, as soon as we say it, like the second after we say it, we're like, hey, I didn't even mean that. Why did I say that? You know?
Yep.
Yeah, which does, yeah, that feels very natural because we all have that the kind of
Yes,
situation.
and also keep in mind the situation that his dad is in as well.
Oh yeah.
Like he may be in a situation where he's not thinking of like far in advance kind of a thing. He's not thinking about, oh, I've got to make sure my words,
Yeah. Man.
But everybody's had those moments.
You know what I feel like, almost like I'm watching when I'm seeing this movie and just seeing how beautiful like the scenery is and everything, is like one of those games that, yeah, it may not be ultra, like one of those ultra realistic like PS5 games, but it's one of the like ones that like what's that one? I forget what it's called, but but they're like almost like the smaller scale kind of games where it's just the animation is vibrant and beautiful and just really stands out and everything. I feel like it's almost like in that same kind of vein.
Imagine like a Hogwarts Legacy style game like this.
It'd be really fun. I would think
Yeah.
it would be a ripe potential for like a cool RPG. Build your own dragon, own colors, and that kind of stuff. Maybe you can like go out and tame them. There's a bunch of wild dragons, and you can like pick one.
Oh, that'd be so fun. Yeah. That could be a interesting discussion video one day. Maybe on the same day as the Game Awards, since the Game Awards is pointless, I'm not even gonna watch it that night. Maybe the same day as the Game Awards, we'll come back on here. We'll do movies that should be video games instead of video games that should be like adapted to movies or whatever. I think that could be kind of an interesting.
Yes, because like I can think of a few from the '90s that should be like, you know what?
What?
There was never a Speed video game.
Yeah, Speed video game would have been great. Someone asked the question one day saying, which Best Picture winner do you think could have been like a fun video game? And I joked around saying Driving Miss Daisy, because you have like a racing game of Driving Miss Daisy.
But there is a Platoon game, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
It was on Nintendo.
I feel like Avatar would be a fun game. I mean, Titanic.
Oh, there is Avatar games, but yeah. There's one actually I played like on the Wii. It was an Avatar game. That was kind of fun. I think there's multiple.
Yeah, there was the one from Ubisoft that came out like a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Then there's one that was like the Avatar movie game or something like that, which was like.
I just completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. I feel like I would say Titanic would be a fun game, but there's one issue with that.
Yeah.
Not until the second half. No, the drowning of the ship.
Yeah. Right. But I like here when they're like traversing into the fog. It almost feels like a little like scary, like a horror-ish kind of, like something out of like Pirates of the Caribbean or something.
Yeah.
Or
King Kong.
Yeah, or King Kong. Yeah.
It's very atmospheric. Like looks like very much like.
Yeah.
Like it heightens the scene of the movie.
I agree.
Oh, and you know something that I discovered upon my second watch of this movie.
What?
I love it when movies do this, but they have those moments where the big bad of the movie isn't like a villain or something. It's based off the decision of the main characters making shitty decisions.
Yes.
Like it's kind of a, oh shit, if the father didn't go to that cave, this would not have happened. Not ooh, the dragon had an evil plan to invade, no, it was like, and I actually think it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh boy, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, man. Seeing like this is like the cockiness and kind of the
Yes.
what like of his father and like the kind of selfish will of his father, but also kind of
Yes.
of samurais in general, or not samurais, Vikings in general, and
I know that.
and so I love that it kept true to the stubbornness of being a Viking,
Yeah, I think this movie is very much about like toxic male culture, right? And his dad, as much as Hiccup is a victim of toxic masculinity, he's the one that fits in more to the standards, but his limited perspective on the world, his limited emotional palette, all that is like the result of his toxic male culture. So I think him and his son both represent like different victims of toxic masculinity in the ways that can manifest itself in totally different ways.
Yeah, because Tristan, though, do you think I've heard like there's no such thing as like normal, like non-toxic man? I mean, like to be masculine without being toxic. I've heard actually there's no way, but I think there is, huh?
No, I mean there's plenty of ways to express your masculinity without it manifesting itself in violence and manifesting itself in emotional.
I agree.
I know I honestly think myself as pretty masculine myself, and I'm not toxic at all, am I? Huh?
I agree, but again, it's the Viking mindset.
But no, we're talking about in general, Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
But also it's not just. I want to point out though that in the Viking culture, it's not just the men. The women were also the same way. Like Vikings in general. If you read like history on Vikings, like all of them were kind of just
because like
very
Andrew
self-willed.
Do you know when did like they consider their mission a success? Vikings. Do you know when, Andrew? Do you know when?
When
they literally burned the whole town down.
Because a good example is like the new Predator Killers movie that just came out, right?
How would I want to watch it?
The Viking woman in that, and Tristan saw it, so he knows what it's like. She's a woman, but she's got the same kind of like stubbornness to her and everything, because like that's just Viking culture. Like that's how they're raised, and that's how they learn and everything. So yeah.
In fact, did you guys know The Rock was in this movie?
Oh God!
Wait, who's Ross?
Did you know The Rock?
He said The Rock.
Oh, The Rock. I thought you said Ross. I was like, what?
Did you guys know The Rock was in this movie?
Oh my God! Are you trying to make a joke because a rock hit him?
Because what they were throwing at the wall, The Rock. So The Rock was in this movie. So, but yes, I agree with the whole Viking mindset. It was it was basically the ideology and the way the Vikings were basically kind of like the pirates,
Yeah.
You know.
and the show Vikings really made me see this through because
Yeah.
that's what I really made me understand that all Vikings were just had that kind of will to them. So
even if it wasn't all Vikings, when you think of the word Vikings, I haven't even seen the show Vikings, but when I think of the word Vikings, this is what I think of. Like,
well, apparently, I actually have I did one of those ancestor test things, and apparently, I actually have an ancestor who was a Viking.
Wow,
no surprise there.
Kind of cool.
well, that's awesome. I need to watch more Viking movies because I loved the Viking atmosphere and just the Viking mentality is fun is toxic to be around, but for a film and for like a story, it's a very interesting group of people.
Do you know which one you should watch, then, Andrew?
What?
The Northman.
I love him just like hitting the eyes there, and then he's like distracted by the cute girl.
Right,
there's
Mike?
honestly a severe lack of Viking movies out there.
Yeah, there is a severe lack of Viking movies. Like Viking era stuff is really interesting to explore, but there's really not enough when it comes to movies or shows of Viking.
I agree. I agree. Like I with like a whole franchise of movies based around Vikings.
Yeah.
Because like the newest one we got was The Northman, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Which I didn't love that as much as other people, but it's still okay.
Yeah.
If you're interested in Viking material, the anime Vinland Saga is really good. I know we don't really cover anime on this channel, but Vinland Saga is a Viking anime. It's like an action-oriented Viking anime.
Oh shit!
There was
I gotta get on that. As long as it's not 27 seasons, I will get on.
It might be close to it, but I don't know.
And just notice this scene. The first thing he does, like when he sees Hiccup, is immediately he apologizes for not for that conversation. I mean, for everything that he's done.
Yeah.
Like
I see that.
Separates him from other fathers, in my opinion.
Do y'all feel? Because I felt like watching this, but then I could see what Andrew was talking about like the expression he made on his face. Maybe it wasn't, but like, do y'all feel like his redemption was kind of rushed in this, or no?
Yes.
I feel like yes and no. I feel like yes and no. Like, if you could tell throughout the movie that he genuinely cared about his son and everything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like oh my god, he had this realization that changed everything. It was something that was always in him, I think.
I think my issue is not with it being, him being able to forgive his son and all that kind of stuff, and that was all fine for me. I think it was him being able to just automatically accept that dragons are just good now and everything after they're just flying in there and like firing at this bigger dragon, and it's like that's the part that felt kind of rushed to me because I was like, didn't you like want to like obliterate all dragons just a second ago?
I think
it's like like it takes a while like for people to get rid of their prejudices if they have.
I have a theory about that. I have a theory. You want to know my theory?
What?
Yeah.
Maybe he felt like, oh shit, my is failing.
Oh, this is that House of the Dragon moment I'm envisioning. Do you know what I'm talking about in season 1?
Oh yeah, this is definitely.
Yeah.
I didn't notice this until now, but straight up House of the Dragon scene right here.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh my god, we were watching that. I was like, oh, straight up.
It doesn't go as badly.
My theory
Except this one actually ends better than what happened in that episode of House of the Dragon.
So yeah, I feel like he kind of maybe he could have maybe you could say that like was on the boat ride with them Toothless.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you could say like they just didn't show up, but maybe on the boat ride with Toothless he kind of sensed good and Toothless kind of thing.
Maybe.
It'll take a while. It takes a long time for people to change, though, too, like that. You can't just change overnight.
What's your thoughts on that, Tristan?
I do think they rushed it a little bit, but I also agree that it's set up throughout the movie that he has this conflict. He doesn't go from I hate my son, I hate all dragons to I love my son, I love all dragons. You can see even in the first act of the movie, he's talking to his friends like, I don't know what to do here, and it's less of a struggle of I hate my son and more of a struggle of like, am I a bad father? Am I not cut out for this? Especially without his mom around. Like, as a single father, am I gonna fuck this up? And it manifests as I hate my son, but really it's I don't think I'm ready to be a father. I don't think I'm good enough to be a single father.
Yeah.
I agree with
they could have spent more time with him in this version of the movie.
This whole movie never came across as I hate my son. It always came across as I don't understand my son kind of a thing.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, or am I a bad father kind of a
yes.
Yeah. I can see that.
And sure. it also did have the type of a vibe where like say if you hated film but you ever had a friend that loved film, kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Watching this movie right now,
what
it is about it has to be about a father who hates a son, because why would a father agree to name their son Hiccup? You're naming him after a bodily function, like,
and the one that nobody likes,
Yeah, no one likes the Hiccup bodily function. Come on.
There's a certain reason I'm defending the father in this movie.
Why is that?
I genuinely really like this character, despite this being a character that in like most other movies I would despise.
And this moment right now, he's filled with guilt, and he doesn't blame Hiccup, he doesn't blame his people, he doesn't blame the dragons. He says, I did this, I messed this up because I was a bad father and I didn't raise my son correctly, and I tried to pass on my toxic traits to him, and this is what happened. And he takes the responsibility in this moment to be like, this was my fault.
Yeah, like that he did this, and can I just say this? Like, what kind of like there's something a little fishy with Toothless, because Toothless is like he always wants to wait until the person confesses stuff to actually like the girl, and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, please just get me down from this thing, and then he starts going smooth, during the ride. Like at first he was like going crazy, and then he waits till she says I'm sorry to do that, and then here it's like he waited until basically he was on his knees saying like, this is my fault, I did this, and like, oh, and then he's like, that's what you think, and then he this it's like man, why do you have to like wait at the most, like,
I think there's human like 10 seasons plus. Like, even though he's clearly a dragon, clearly an animal. I'm scratch at a creature. Creature.
Yeah.
He's got tendencies of a human.
Yeah, he's very human, like much like dogs. Like we talked about, like dogs have that kind of human-like tendency. It's like the same way with
he was bouncing all over the room.
This is true dog behavior. As soon as they see her awake, they're ready to go.
So yeah.
He's before, and this is what it's like.
And then see, that's a dog cocking his head, like, "Are you gonna play ball with me? Are we going outside?"
Yes. And I genuinely loved this movie. But
oh man, yeah. The fact now he lost a foot, a leg from that. It's kind of makes him even more badass, right? To say like, hey, he lost a leg in combat. Yeah.
yes, and I'm I have a feeling about something. I have a feeling their plan for the live action movies is
Yeah.
the entire trilogy, only for one reason.
What?
They've already announced a sequel movie.
Yeah.
So I think that if this movie does well, do not be surprised if we hear not only are we getting a second, but the third one has been confirmed as well, If this movie does really, really well.
Yeah, as long as it does well, we're getting all three, I think. And I would imagine it does pretty well. The ticket sales are pretty solid. The reviews have been really good.
Was it crowded when you went, Tristan?
It was pretty crowded. My biggest fear is that just the general bad taste around these remakes is going to make people not want to see this. But everybody saw Lilo and Stitch despite reviews, so I don't know why this would do poorly. Although I don't think it's going to beat Lilo and Stitch, which is sad.
Yeah, but okay, I didn't hate Lilo and Stitch. Just it felt like something was off. It felt like there was a good movie in there. It just something felt off.
In fact, it was definitely one of my favorite Disney live action movies that I've seen.
I have. Oh, I love that the way now they're both.
Yes.
Now what I love about it is now they are both deformed in some sense. But they're now bonded together through that. Toothless has part of his tail missing, and then now Hiccup has his
and then his dad
leg
missing his arm.
Yeah. So yeah, his dad missing an arm. So it's it kind of binds them all together, and I love this where now each one of them have their own dragons that they can claim, and they're all just riding off and enjoying things. While I was playing this amazing song from Jonesy. Jonesy doing the original song for this was peak right there. Freaking loved Jonesy.
I had a great time.
Love that movie so much. It was such a good movie.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be good, but damn, was that movie really good.
For sure. But yeah, it looks like all the seating that I have at my theater looks like it's gonna do really well. The new How to Train Your Dragon. So I know I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait now because of Tristan's glowing review. But this is a good weekend for movies, guys, because we have How to Train Your Dragon out. We have The Materialist out, which I'm planning on seeing soon.
I've been hearing nothing but glowing things about that.
Also, great movie. I saw that and How to Train Your Dragon back to back, so I had a good day today.
Oh man, nice. Yeah, I'm really excited.
So how does it compare though? How does it compare though to Past Lives?
It's not quite as unique as Past Lives, but it's a really, really great version of that kind of story. You think you've seen it 100 times, but it does that. It does it so well that it's one of the best versions of that kind of very typical setup.
So I think I love the trailer even more then because the thing is the trailer made it look like it was just a conventional rom-com, but now it's going to be more than that. So it's going to kind of subvert your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But
in a good way.
But also The Life of Chuck comes out this weekend, which I've already gotten to see because of the Monday Mystery movie, and it was really good as well. So yeah, a lot of really good stuff opening up this weekend. So make sure you go to your theater and check it out. We're getting finally into some great movies, guys. So this is a really good time to be a film fan right now. In fact, Fearful Clan, a new person here, also says, I watched the movie earlier today to get a refresher before I see the live action remake with my mom and little sister tomorrow night. That's awesome, man. Yeah,
That's the way to do it.
that's what I did. This is my second time watching it because I watched it last night to prep and then for this commentary. Then I rewatched it in this commentary with you guys. But
What I love about How to Train Your Dragon is it's not making a lot of the same mistakes that Superman and Jurassic and Fantastic Four are making.
yeah, like what kind of mistakes are you referring to?
And that is having those like three major like tentpole like big movies like 2 weeks like separated from one another.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not as crazy because the only big tentpole movie coming out in June is F1, but other than
but F1 and this are not going to be going after the same audience.
yeah,
I don't see like little kids saying, I want to go see F1, and kids and families saying, let's go see that 2.5 hour movie about race cars. But
yeah,
I can see them saying, hey, let's go see that 2 hour movie about dragons, you know?
yeah.
I did get tired though. I got kind of burned out on like Elio though. Do you know why?
Why?
Guess who's been talking about seeing everything. He wants everyone to go see it.
Who?
Alessio.
He
actually wasn't like Elio for Halloween, and then like he said like he actually missed. Wait though. He said like he actually like messaged the star, from Elio. And I'm thinking that's weird behavior. Do you know why?
Why?
It's like a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's really weird. The next Halloween matching costume I gotta do, speaking of How to Train Your Dragon, is I think a Astrid and Hiccup costume would be pretty cool.
Tori and I are gonna be one that you'll be jealous of, Mike. Tori and I are talking about doing one that you'll be jealous of.
What?
Vincent Vega and Mia Wallace.
That'd be cool.
But yeah.
I loved Astrid. She's a really just a cute character in the way that she was drawn and the way that she acted.
Yeah.
Her and Hiccup had the very adorable style relationship.
Yeah. So Tristan, this movie is 15 years old. How does it hold up for you?
It's interesting because I haven't seen it. You guys have seen it recently. It's been a long time for me, and I think it was a lot better than I remembered it being. I remembered liking it, but it was not a movie for me that I like revisited often or like thought of often. I was always just like, oh yeah, that movie was good. I remember that being good, and this really impressed me a lot. Especially having watched the live action movie, I may have liked the remake a little more, honestly, but they're both great movies, and I really was impressed by the direction here, the visuals, the cinematography. I know it's an animated movie, but we mentioned how cinematic it looks throughout the whole thing, and yeah, I really like this a lot. It was way better than I remembered it being. It's going to be one that I go back to. I'm not even 100% sure that I've seen the sequels to this, so I'm definitely going to be putting those on the watch list, especially if they're going to be getting remade also. Yeah. But I was really impressed by this one. I'm really happy you guys invited me on to watch it again because I was really happy to revisit that after seeing the remake. So yeah, I definitely recommend the remake. If you guys sat through this whole thing and you like this movie, I don't see how you could like this one and not like the remake.
I do have a question about the remake, though. I've been wanting to ask you this though. How does the big final dragon look in the remake?
It looks awesome. The dragons all looks really, really, really cool.
Like, so you think this could get some Oscar nominations or no? Like for visual effects?
Visual effects, I would definitely consider it because
that's what I mean.
The dragons look incredible, and they tend to nominate. They got to get some kind of big blockbuster kind of movie in there for that. So I think it'll be
I swear to God, if they snub How to Train Your Dragon for Lilo and Stitch because it made more money in visual effects, that's going to be a sad world.
I could see them both again.
I
say, Matt Smith is credited. I think that's another.
They got 2 Doctor Who's in one show or one movie.
Whoa, that's crazy. That's too much for the world to handle. Can't have 2 doctors. Now you just need the 9th Doctor to show up too, and then
Karen Gillian also, and then Trudy Gatwa.
Yeah,
no,
get them all in there.
Get them all in there, and then
guys. Like speaking of Doctor Who, Nolan wants to watch Sex Ed because of Trudy Gatwa. And do what I said though. Some of his reaction shots in Sex Ed are god tier level. And he goes, "Really?" And I go, right, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they're really good. But yeah, guys, How to Train Your Dragon still holds up 15 years later. Really fantastic movie. Really great movie. So, yeah. Let us know down below. What do you all think of How to Train Your Dragon? Did y'all train your dragon before y'all came on to watch the stream? Hope you did. As far as stuff coming up on the channel, this Saturday I have my monthly mistake drinking game. I'll be doing with Austin, which is because we can't do it on Friday 13th, so we're doing it, on Saturday the 14th. So it's just a belated Friday 13th kind of celebration. So we're going to be doing that for you guys. And then on Sunday, so every weekend, I'm going to try to do it every Sunday leading up to the Emmys. We are going to be doing an awards roundtable TV edition. So it'll be we'll break down the drama categories in television and kind of go through. It's not an awards expert, so we're going to have to go through Gold Derby for that one. Oscar expert, if you ever watch this video, add Emmys on there because I want to also predict TV. So, but I'll have to use Gold Derby for that one and go through the list there. But we'll break it down with drama categories this weekend. Then the next weekend will be comedy categories. Then it'll be limited series categories. Then a couple of days before the actual Emmy nominations come out, we'll do full-on last-minute final predictions in all the categories kind of deal. So that should be kind of a fun 4-video way to lead up to the Emmys. And then we'll do a awards roundtable on the Emmy nominations whenever they come out as well and discuss those. So
and we're not doing daytime Emmys, guys, just let you know.
No. But we're doing the main primetime Emmys. So that should be good. But we're only gonna predict the categories that are televised and such, meaning we're not going to be predicting, some of those like best theme song, best whatever it is, kind of theme intro and all these other kind of minor categories there. So
I get a hosting this year.
Who's hosting?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who is?
Who's hosting the Emmys?
Oh, I thought you were saying or telling us. I don't know who is hosting the Emmys. Do they have
Nate Bargatze?
I don't know
how to pronounce his last name, but he's a comedian.
I have never heard of Nate.
You know who should be hosting an award show just to see how off the rails it will go?
What?
The guy from Friendship.
Oh, that would be Tim Robinson hosting an award show would be fucking nuts. I kind of need that for all the wild skits and everything. I kind of see him being more like an Independent Spirit Awards host, because Independent Spirit Awards, like, you can say like fuck, you can say all this stuff like and because it's on like IFC, so they don't care what you say. So I think and on like YouTube and such. So I think that he could totally Rock doing like an Independent Spirit Award hosting job. But yeah, so that's some stuff we have coming up, and then of course we're prepping for midway through the year. We're going to be doing our halfway through the year best movies that we've seen so far this year. And then we're also going to do that for TV shows as well. So we're going to have 2 videos talking about the best shows and best movies that we've seen of 2025 so far. So there's going to be that.
I think I'll probably have the number one best show, the same one.
Which one?
The number one best show of the year. I think you and I will probably have the same number one.
Maybe, I don't know. It's a toss up for me between 2 of them, but
because one of them is mine. You know which one is mine, probably, right?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. So that's coming up, and then also to prep for 28 years later, we'll also be coming back. Our next commentaries that we'll be doing, we will be doing commentaries for 28 days later and for 28 weeks later. So kind of, some deep dive commentary discussions on those movies as well.
Are those movies streaming anywhere right now?
They are actually, come to think of it, I'll have to see, because I know when it comes to doing a commentary might be really hard. We might just have to do like reviews, like do
these movies. There not a lot happens.
That's not the main reason. Also, because 28 days later is not streaming anywhere except for Pluto. Pluto is the only place it's streaming. It's available.
You can rent it. You can rent it now.
You can rent it, yeah, but you have to pay money to rent it.
It's only $3.99 to rent
to watch it. To watch it on there, but 28 weeks later is on Hulu. But we may decide to do like I'm going to be rewatching them again soon, and I'll see like if there's enough to talk about. But if not, then we'll just do like a deep dive kind of more review of those 2, and then do a review of 28 years later, because it's my most anticipated movie of the year. So I'm definitely going to be doing a review for 28 years later whenever that comes out. So really, really stoked for that. So yeah, guys, make sure you like this video and subscribe, share, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of those upcoming videos. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We will see you all in the next one. Until next time, stay classy, my friends, and remember to train your dragons.